Have you ever played a level and just kept dying? Ever come across a game so hard you felt like dropping your console into the nearest volcanic pit? Haven't we all? Games can be rough, difficult levels, seemingly unbeatable bosses, teams that make you contemplate the consequences of murder, and puzzles that just don't make any sense. Today's video is brought to you by NordVPN. Use the link in the description and save 75% on a 3-year plan. Switch to NordVPN to protect yourself today. Here's our list of the top 10 games so hard to master they could be Olympic. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll even get to see one of these games at the Olympics. But first, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Up first is Super Monkey Ball. This game feels like a sprint with its fast-paced gameplay and countdown. That is, if a sprint involves narrow bridges with precarious sudden turns and various obstacles created with the intention of launching you over the edge and into oblivion. Don't let those adorable caged monkeys fool you. This game was created by the devil. A study done involving Super Monkey Ball actually proved that surgeons who played it improved their suturing abilities and made less mistakes. In other words, this game makes Mario Kart's Rainbow Road look like a leisurely walk in the park. The fact that this game comes from the same developers as The Binding of Isaac should say enough already. This popular indie game has 300 levels, all of which require quick thinking, precision, and godlike patience. The premise is simple. Our lovable protagonist, the ever-chipper Meat Boy, must fight his way through levels to find and rescue his girlfriend from the evil Dr. Fetus. Made for 2D platformer fans, Super Meat Boy is a sadist's nirvana. With only running and jumping in your arsenal of controls, you're left to guide our favorite protein cube through 300 levels of hell, destined to watch him die again and again and again and again. Move aside, gymnast. Meat Boy is here to leap, slide, and pirouette his way into the 2024 Olympics. Yeah. This is an 80s game and even your grandmother can watch it and not get confused. How hard can stacking blocks be? But we're not here to talk about Tetris Friends, Tetris Splash, Tetris Evolution, or Tetris whatever. Those are games where you can see 5 blocks ahead, slide your blocks around for extra time, or hold a block for later use. You even get a helpful little shadow to help you place your blocks. No, we're here to talk about Tetris-ness. No holding, and no mercy. This game has fooled many with its perceived simplicity. But if you've watched Tetris Worlds recently, you'll understand that the game is a strategic masterpiece, reserved for those blessed with inhuman dexterity. Still don't believe us? Try getting past level 19. We dare you. The game we all hate with a burning passion, where mute is your best friend and all your mistakes are caused by lag. Welcome to League of Legends. Why is this abomination of a game on our list? Because despite our deep-rooted resentment, it's a game that requires quite some skill, not to mention Gandhi levels of inner peace. I know. Skill means nothing if you're stuck with a troll who insists that Soraka jungle is the new meta. Just take the loss and smash that report button. You can only carry so hard. As for those of us who are not permanently stuck in the desolate purgatory otherwise known as Bronze 2 or Silver 5, League is a game that requires tactics, teamwork, and an in-depth knowledge of champions. Oh, and somehow you always end up with one big idiot that may just throw the game. Are you playing and you can't spot the idiot? Well, buddy, I have some bad news for you. This popular game has won the hearts of nerds worldwide, and for good reason. Hearthstone is like chess but with spells, weapons, and fun. But for new players, the game can be off-putting. There are so many variables at play, and the thought of creating your own deck is a daunting one. There's just so much to consider before you even begin the game. Once the game has begun, you're required to think strategically while also dealing with the unpredictability of the shuffle. Since the game was released in the 80s, Street Fighter has secured its place as one of the most iconic gaming franchises of all time. This game is another example of deceptive simplicity. But to truly be a master of the game, a player must have an understanding of frame data. To put it simply, frame data is how many frames it takes for an animation to be completed. In the game, there are 20 characters, all with different moves with different frame data. It's a lot. In other words, a master Street Fighter player is probably also the same kid who looked forward to the next math test. Using frame data can have crazy results. Take the well-known battle between Diego and Justin. Diego took advantage of frame data, parried at exactly the right moments, and secured a legendary win. Super Smash, the reason you and your childhood best friend haven't spoken since 2013. A classic game with classic characters, what's not to love? This technique-heavy game has earned its place on this list for being exploitable. Pivoting, wave dashing, fast falling, desyncing, and animation canceling are all moves that use the game's mechanics in a way that they weren't originally intended. Super Smash Melee has mechanics that allow for so much that players can fiddle with characters until they figure out moves that give them an advantage. And this is just about 25% of the possible output. Of course, the real work is to practice and master the hardcore mechanics. And because of this, sometimes casual players lose against their cousins because he dashed his way to victory, and they're left having to listen to a 12-year-old blasting "We Are the Champions" on repeat for the rest of the night. Anyway, for anyone claiming that eSports should not be included in the Olympics, you need to take a good look at the hands of Super Smash eSports pros. These players have hands that move at the speed of light. Blink and you'll have missed them punching the next killer wombo combo. You died. Those two words fill your screen so often, you're certain the game is taunting you. With its deformed final bosses and skeletal dogs that pounce out of nowhere, Dark Souls is a heart attack wrapped in a morbidly fascinating game. Nope. No thank you, sir. Wielding the slogan "Prepare to Die," the game warns players of its unforgiving and brutal gameplay. There are no regular checkpoints, endless enemies, all of whom have different fighting styles, and you never have enough Estus flasks. This game doesn't care about your feelings. In order to really play Dark Souls, you need to embrace the nightmare. Praise the sun. Believe it or not, this is a fan game. A horribly difficult and infuriating fan game. I Wanna Be the Boshi is complete with spikes, disappearing platforms, and spiders that drop down screaming. Sounds fun, right? The game is clever, paying homage to gaming and internet culture, with appearances from Mario, Rue, Mega Man, and Nyan Cat. But if you're the kind of player who doesn't feel like spending hours perfecting precise maneuvers, we advise sticking to watching the speedruns. Wait, the number one game on this list is a puzzle game? Ha! Trust us, this game is tough with a capital T. We can't believe we're saying this, but Dark Souls is kind compared to The Witness. Where Dark Souls allows players to leave marks with tips for other players, The Witness leaves the player in the dark. Even during the tutorial stage, the player needs to figure out the rules to the puzzles through trial and error. To make it even harder, the player is put on an island with open areas where they may encounter puzzles they don't know the rules to yet, because they haven't come across the tutorial puzzle of that area. Did you encounter a puzzle you can't solve? Rough, The Witness doesn't care. So grab a pen, some paper, and call your smartest friends, because honey, you're screwed. Play the game long enough, and you'll start thinking you're seeing puzzles and patterns in real life. There you have it, 10 games we think require Olympic efforts to truly master. Let us know in the comments which of these games you've aced, failed, or rage quit.